I don't know about anybody else, but like my personal favorite way to play The Sims 4 is through careers gameplay. I really love careers, especially the live careers. I'm ranking all of the packs based on the careers. We've got perfect, good with some imagination. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean, if you must, and I'd rather have dick cheese. Obviously, kits do not come with careers, neither does the Happy Holiday free pack, so they are all going in. I'd rather have dick cheese because you literally can't have a career with them. By the way, people always say to me they think I'm saying Korea is in the country instead of saying Korea, and I know Plumbella gets this problem a lot as well, and I think it's just the way the British people say Korea. It sounds like Korea the country, but it is different, so you're just gonna have to remember I'm saying Korea is in jobs, not Korea is in the country. So the base game itself, I think The Sims 4 base game is perfect, and that's because it comes with the author career, which I actually think is really fun. Or, you know, like you can sell, I think you can sell like computer programs or mods and make money through that like every single week in the game. I think there's also like a digital artist branch of that career, and of course you can be, you know, a normal artist and sell your paintings. It's not the most inspiring thing in the world to just sell things through your inventory, but I do think there is a lot of depth to some of the base game careers. Another one is the style influencer career. It is a rabbit hole career, but it's got a lot of live work from home assignment things you can do as well. And I just think genuinely, if you only own the base game, you can still do like work things, and I do think it really is good. Also, there are plenty of moddable like live careers that you can actually do in The Sims 4, which are really, really cool, that don't really require any packs. And because of that, I just think the base game is enough. Outdoor retreat, I'd rather have dick cheese. It's literally got none. Although I would actually put it in if you must, and that's because it comes with herbology and collecting insects and things. Maybe you could combine it with another pack in order to sell them and do things. Some kind of, I don't know, bug collector or something. I think you could, but it would require a lot of imagination. Do you know what? I'm changing if you must to requires imagination because that's more fitting. Spa day. The funny thing about Spa day is that when the pack got refreshed, they told us that it would kind of come with careers, but it wasn't like a proper career. It's not even a self-employed career or anything. You basically just go to a spa lot and you can run a class. Like, you don't have to rent out the space. Random people will turn up. It's not that in depth. And the funny thing about it is, if you say want to work as a yoga instructor in a spa lot, the way the game actually functions on the lot, a lot of the employees of the spa lot will take your classes in order to fill up the spaces, and it feels very unnatural and weird. You can also work from home doing it, but because it isn't implemented very well, it's almost impossible to do, and it's not intuitive at all. On paper, the idea of becoming, you know, a spa worker, massage therapist, a nail manicurist, whatever, these are all really fun ideas on paper. It was just implemented in a terrible way, and I think it requires way too much imagination. I've also just realized we've got good with some imagination at the top here, so I've just changed this to requires too much imagination. Oh my gosh, I'm such a noob. I'm sorry. If you don't get how tea maker works, red at the top is the best and green at the bottom is the worst. Why isn't green the best and red the worst? I don't know, but that's just the way it works. Anyway, Die Now is next. This is another funny one because, you know, going to a restaurant and just eating there isn't very fun, but actually running and owning your own restaurant can be very fun, especially if you're a builder and you want to build your own restaurant. The great thing is as well, it can actually be very tough. All of the gameplay in Die Now about running and owning a restaurant is all about managing the employees. Unfortunately, you can't actually work in the restaurant yourself, which is incredibly dumb in my opinion. And it's the reason why I don't like Dine Out that much. There is a mod called Dine Out Reloaded, which literally changes it completely. As it says, you can play as a waiter, a host, or a chef. For me personally, this mod is fundamental to making Dine Out fun. If I did not have that mod, Dine Out would be so boring and not fun at all. I feel like that mod is basically required in order to make Dine Out good. And it's a shame that it requires a mod, and I know not everybody has mods. So because of that, I am just putting it in good with some imagination. Vampires, I'd rather have dick cheese. Parenthood, I'd rather have dick cheese. They come with absolutely no careers. Jungle Adventure actually kind of comes with a career, not a career itself, but you can explore different tombs inside this one little cave area. It has some replayability value, and when you go in there, you can collect relics. You can keep these relics and treasures for your home lot as kind of like trophies, or you can sell them all for a lot of money. I personally think it's cool to actually sell them all. The pack also actually comes with a market stall stand, so you can actually use it to set up a market stall on your home lot and sell things from there. Kind of like a garage sale, as the Americans call it. In the UK, we call it a car boot, but it's basically the exact same thing. And I do actually think it's quite good as a career gameplay because it's rewarding. It's not just going to work. You actually have to go into a temple, find relics, and then sell them that way. And I think it's a really interesting and unique way to make money in the game. Therefore, I do think it's good with some imagination. The Sims 4 Strangerville comes with a very linear storyline, but it does also come with the military career. The military career actually has a lot of live options, like work from home things, or you have to recruit new people. You also kind of have to plant listening devices on other people and do kind of spy things. It's very interesting. Although it's not strictly a live career, it is essentially a rabbit hole career, but I do think it's actually relatively fun. I do think, you know, it's not the size of the boat that counts, it's the motion of the ocean. I mean, that's not my personal opinion, but for the respect of this review, I'd say it's in the middle. Journey to Batu is an interesting one because it's not necessarily a career, but when you go to Batu, you have to complete assignments for one of the 3 factions, and when you complete them, you get credits, which is a very unique thing because it's almost like the world has its own special economy, which sounds like a good thing on paper, but the problem is you can't spend that money on anything than other to buy brand new tools in order to help you with future missions. You can't spend that money on living there, you can't spend it on exclusive furniture, you can literally only spend it on completing the missions, which renders the whole pack pointless, and it gives you no real reason to treat it as a career. And that's a fundamental reason why it just falls way too short, because it's kind of like a career, but you're earning money to spend on the career itself, which doesn't make any sense. That defeats the whole point of making money in the first place. It could have been absolutely excellent. It was just implemented terribly. I'd rather have dick cheese. Realm of Magic by itself doesn't really come with any careers. At a stretch, it comes with a copycat spell where you can copy certain objects. So if you copy something that's expensive, you could just copy it again and again and again and then sell it. Although this feels more like a cheat than it does a career, and I don't think the pack isolated by itself really facilitates careers alone. I think it requires way too much imagination. My Wedding Stories comes with no careers. I'd rather have dick cheese. Werewolves doesn't come with anything. Dream Home Decorator is a careers pack. I do think it's very overpriced for what it is, and it should have been a stuff pack in my opinion. The actual career itself is a fun idea on paper, but it was implemented in a way that's very, very poor and broken, and it doesn't really make much sense. I really love the idea of renovating a house, but the way it's been implemented is it's all based on likes and dislikes. So you go to a client and they will say, I like blue. So you just put a blue chair in a room and they all love it. It doesn't really have that much depth, and I think it's a really, really boring way of implementing a career. It could have been a lot better than what it is. And I know this is a deeply unpopular opinion because it is a careers pack, but I just think it requires way too much imagination. You have to pretend the client is giving you an extravagant vision, but in reality, their vision will be, I dislike mischief and I like books and I dislike pink. And it's like, you're not going to make, you know, a nice room out of that. It's just dumb the way it's been implemented. I hate it. In terms of the stuff packs, none of them really come with a career, but a couple of them do. So just getting rid of almost all of them, as I'd rather have dick cheese. The Moschino stuff pack comes with a freelance fashion photographer career. For this, you have to hire photo subjects, select the clothes that they wear, and then put them in the appropriate poses and capture images of them. And you can build a home photo studio, or you can go onto a random location and take pictures. On paper, the career is a nice idea. It just wasn't implemented that well. The truth is, most simmers at that time wanted a modeling career, not a photographer career, because you can already kind of do photography in the game. And the way it's been implemented as well was just very sloppy, and it's very difficult. I've tried being a fashion photographer in The Sims 4, and it's actually really hard. Not in it like a challenging way, but just in a way that means it's not very intuitive, and I just don't get it. But it's okay. For that, I'd say it just requires too much imagination. Nifty Knitting is an interesting stuff pack, and that's because it comes with Plopsy, which is like a copyright-free version of Etsy. Of course, by traditional means, when you make something in The Sims 4, you can just sell it straight from your inventory, but with Plopsy, you have to list it on there and wait for a buyer, and it does take a lot longer to sell it, but you can generally sell it for a lot more money. I think especially over the COVID period, a lot of people were selling things from home this way, gameplay, and I think it's a really funny take, an interesting take on careers gameplay. And the best thing is it is very compatible with other things, so if you're making stuff from other packs, not just knitting things, you can also sell those things on Plopsy. And because it is a very unique gameplay mechanic that we haven't really seen before, I would actually say it's perfect, and especially because it is very, very cross-pack compatible, and it comes in a stuff pack which is quite cheap. The next stuff pack is Paranormal stuff. This one comes with the Paranormal Investigator career. This career requires a medium skill, which is a skill that only goes up to level 5, so it's not the most challenging thing in the world, but it is a live career and you can do it on literally any lot. And I said to you guys before, I thought Dream Home Decorator was very cash grabby, and that's because Paranormal stuff basically comes with almost the exact same amount of gameplay when it comes to live careers, yet it's a stuff pack. I know not everybody is into occult gameplay, which is fair enough, but if you are, actually going to people's houses and trying to deal with the spirits is very fun, because there are so many different ways you can actually deal with it and so many different ways you can cleanse a haunted house. I just think there are so many different possibilities and it is so fun to mess around with. I genuinely love it. Because of that, I would say this one is perfect. The next pack is Get to Work. This entire pack is about going to work, funnily enough, so I'm sure you're already guessing where this one is going to go. The pack comes with 3 live careers, the first live careers that we've ever had in the game, which is a doctor's career, a detective's career, and a scientist career. I personally think the scientist career is the best. I actually personally think all of these careers are really, really fun to mess around with. I do genuinely like the way that they've been implemented. If you want to break up standard rabbit hole career gameplay and actually just follow your Sims to work, this is basically the pack that you need. Also, my personal favorite part of playing The Sims 4 is retail gameplay. I love making shops, I really do. And the great thing about the retail system in The Sims 4 Get to Work is that it's cross-pack compatible with any other pack. If you own the Realm of Magic pack and you want to make potions and have a potion shop, you can literally make potions and sell potions in a shop. It's great. If you own My Wedding Stories, God forbid, sorry, I should have put a trigger warning there. If you own that pack and you make wedding cakes, you could sell them in a shop. As a retail store, make a wedding shop. It's great. If you own The Sims 4 Discover University, you could create servo robots and then sell those servo robots in a shop. Like, there are literally endless possibilities with the retail career. That for me is the icing on the cake for this pack, and that is why it is perfect. It is a must. If you get any pack for careers gameplay, it is Get to Work of all of the other packs. The next one is City Living. This doesn't technically come with active careers, but it comes with 3 careers, which is social media career, a politician career, and a critic career. The critic career just involves reviewing foods and drink and writing columns. The social media career just requires you to update your social status or share things with followers on your phone. It's probably one of the least engaging ones. The politician career, though, is actually pretty cool. Even though it is a rabbit hole career, it does have a lot of tasks such as securing votes. And to do that, you know, you have to go around the city, you have to do a lot of protesting. It also kind of has kind of like a social justice warrior branch. Well, it's technically called a charity organizer branch, but it kind of works like a social justice warrior, and I think it's hilarious because I'm not really that woke as a person, and I find it really funny, the idea of being a social justice warrior. But you can also go down the other path, which is to basically be like the president, which is really, really cool. Even though they're not technically live careers, I think they're really fun, and I think they are good with some imagination. A very good pack for career gameplay. Get Together is an interesting one because it doesn't come with any careers, but it can come with clubs. One of the best and most exploitive ways to make money in The Sims 4 is to create an art club with Get Together, and to make loads of Sims make paintings for you in this art club, and then actually just sell the paintings on their behalf and make all of the money. It's very, very fun and exploitive, but it's not for everyone, and I do think it requires way too much imagination because it's not a proper career. Cats and Dogs comes with a vet's career. I've had a little play with this. I do think it is quite glitchy in terms of the way that it's been implemented. Even a little bit worse than Dine Out in my opinion, and definitely not as good as the Get to Work retail system. The gameplay is very hit or miss, and you often feel like you don't know what you're doing other than just clicking on random interactions, hoping that something will stick and you can treat a pet. If you're a builder, I guess the idea of building a vets is nice, but it's just not implemented that well. I'm sorry, but it's not the size that counts. It's what you do with it. Seasons is a really interesting one because it comes with scouts for kids and teens. You have to complete different tasks to complete scouting badges, and when you complete them all, you get the scout aptitude trait, which makes skill gains a lot faster. It's not like a career itself, but it's something more interesting for kids and teens that's kind of like a career for them. Also, it comes with a gardening overhaul and a gardener special career, and I think gardening with seasons is particularly fun, and especially with the flower making skill. Making and selling flowers I think is a really nice touch, and I really like it. Because of that, I would say seasons is good with some imagination. The next one is Get Famous. This one comes with the actor career. This is a live career from which you go to a TV movie production studio and you get an acting gig. When you're at the gig, there's not much gameplay really. You basically choose between either doing a safe action or a risky action when it comes to acting, and depending on how well you perform depends on how much money you get. The actual idea of being an actor is a fun idea, and you can actually start making up to almost 10,000 simoleons per gig, and I think it's a really fun way to start making money. Although the only thing is it does get very tired after a while, to be honest, and you do get a little bit bored of it being repetitive. Although one other great thing it comes with is a music station from which you can produce songs and then you can sell those songs. You can basically sell them to labels and then make money that way, which I think is very cool. It's not like super engaging, but I think it's a really fun thing to do. Unfortunately, you can't be a singer in the pack. I wish you could, but you can't. But I think mixing music or being a producer is the next best thing. It also comes with a video station from which you can basically kind of be like a vlogger. You can record videos. It actually comes with a lot of depth where you can like add transitions and effects, combine videos, name them, upload them, do them differently depending on your emotions. It also comes with a drone object, which basically follows you around and records you with what you're doing. So if you kind of want to be like a travel vlogger or something, it will follow you around and then you can upload and edit those videos and sell them and make money from it. You can also get sponsorships, which is pretty cool. It actually has a lot of depth. I actually think Get Famous is really fun. I would honestly say it is perfect for career gameplay. The next one is Island Living, and this comes with a conservationist career. This career is basically about cleaning up the island. On paper, it sounds like a good idea, but in reality, all you have to do, it is a rabbit hole career, but it's got live elements with work from home assignments. All these assignments are just speaking to other Sims to spread conservation awareness, which is just one interaction. Another thing that you have to do is clean up trash from the beach that comes up every now and then, but it's not really that in depth and it's incredibly boring. The pack comes with an odd jobs thing, which is basically little side missions that you can do. Again, these are very basic, like pick up 5 pieces of trash and make a little bit of money from it. They're like side quests. They're not really that fun to play with. I personally think it requires just way too much imagination. Discover University is a very interesting one. It comes with the education career, engineer career, and the law career, which are rabbit holes. The actual careers themselves are not really that in depth because they are just rabbit holes. But of course, the main thing is about going to university and getting a degree. Discover University is extremely cross-pack compatible, and that's because whatever degree you get will help you in terms of going up the ranks in a career. It also has, you know, different degree modules based on the different packs. So if you own Jungle Adventures, I believe there's one on like Salvadorian culture. If you're the kind of person who prefers long-term gameplay as well, having your sim first go to university, get a degree, and then go into a job seems a lot more natural and organic. And for that reason, I genuinely love Discover University. The careers itself that it comes with isn't that good, but the actual idea of actually getting a degree before you can actually have a job is a lot more realistic, and being able to, you know, jump up in the career ranks and make more money just makes a lot more sense. And I'd say it's very good with some imagination. Eco Lifestyle comes with a civil designer career. This is a rabbit hole career, and it involves gaining influence so that you can use your influence to better shape the environment of the neighborhood. The actual fabrication station is good because you can recycle things that you find in trash, make things and then sell them, which I guess is a fun idea, especially if you have a pack like Get to Work where you can actually make it into a full-on retail store. But the reason why I think this pack is very interesting is because it's centered around using the career to make the world around you more eco-friendly. It's a career that actually has an impact on the world around you. Because of that, it's not directly a fun career, but actually having the career indirectly having an impact on the world around you, I think is a fun concept. So I'd say it's good with some imagination. Growing Together doesn't come with any careers gameplay. It should have come with a daycare career. I'd rather have dick cheese. I really would. The next pack is high school years. Just like Discover University, this involves going to school. The pack isn't exclusively about careers, but when you go to school, you raise up skills. If you treat school as a rabbit hole experience, you don't, but if you go to school, you do. I do think the pack is very, very terribly implemented, and the school system is incredibly dull. It works kind of like a life career does in Get to Work. It's just a lot less engaging. The pack does come with an entrepreneur skill, which is a skill that helps you in terms of progressing faster as a freelancer in the freelance career. It also comes with a video game streamer side job or part-time job exclusively for teens, and it comes with a simfluencer career. These are primarily rabbit hole careers, which doesn't make sense because they are things that you would literally do from home if you were a teen. You wouldn't go to a workplace to be an influencer or a streamer. Like, you'd exclusively do these things from home, which I find incredibly strange about this pack. Why is it a rabbit hole career? They're not the most engaging careers, and it doesn't really have any impact upon future gameplay when they become an adult. And I just think they were implemented very terribly. The pack also comes with a thrift store from which you can actually go there. You can buy exclusive clothes there, but you can also create outfits and then sell the outfit as one big kind of package. The problem is that you set your own price, but the game doesn't really prompt you in terms of what price to set. You can actually also set the price for $999,999, $1 short of $1 million, and you can actually sell it completely fine. So the game doesn't really care what price you set it at, which means you could just set it at the maximum every single time. And it's just very exploitive, like what going into CAS, creating a randomly generated outfit and just selling it all for the maximum price. It just seems very dumb the way it was implemented. I personally really don't like the way that high school years implemented careers, and it requires way too much imagination. Snowy Escape comes with the salaryman career or salary person. I lived in Japan and I saw a lot of salarymen when I was there, and it's literally just like seeing, you know, the March of the Penguins, because they're all in their suits. They don't have social lives, they don't have family lives, they just work and do nothing else. In The Sims 4, this is a rabbit hole career. It comes with some work from home assignments. The only thing, I think it's very unrealistic because it's basically like a 9-to-5 job, and in real life, proper Japanese salarymen work like 6 to 7 days a week. They make a lot of money, but they literally work from like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. and I really wish they did that in The Sims 4 just to make it a lot more realistic. Other than that, it doesn't really come with much. It is a very basic life career. I think it just requires too much imagination. Cottage living is a very interesting one. So just to get the small things out of the way, just like with island living, it comes with side hustles like side quests. These are very poorly implemented in my opinion, not fun, not engaging. The most engaging and fun thing though is actually looking after animals. If you have chickens or hens, you can get the eggs and you can sell the eggs at the local market. You can sell milk that you milk from your cows. You can shear the llamas and sell the wool. It's a career that involves living off the land as a farmer, and I personally find it extremely fun. It also comes with cross-stitching, which is not necessarily a career but more so a hobby, but you could make money from it too. It also comes with a lot of new plants if you do really like gardening. It comes with canning as well, which is basically like making jam jars. I think the Americans call it jelly. It is a very confusing thing for me in terms of terminology because jelly has a different meaning in the UK anyway. You can do that. You can make some new recipes with it. It's kind of like living off the land, as in like you don't need a job because you basically are self-sustaining, which in a way is a job in itself. And it kind of reminds me of, you know, like Harvest Moon when I used to play it back in the day, Friends of Mineral Town. I really, really love it. And if you like the farming side of things, I would say it's perfect for careers gameplay. It's not a career itself, but it kind of works like one in a very good way. I hope you found this tier list useful. I have a couple more here, so maybe check out one of those if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.